Hello children, welcome back to the session. Today we are going to start a new lesson, that is lesson number 8. Last week we had not done any videos. Instead of that we had given you worksheet of all the 4 lessons which are there in the coming exam. Now we are going to start the new lesson, that is lesson number 8, cell structure and functions. Children, just have a look around you. You can see so many things around you. In those things, some are living things and some are non-living things. If you say, example, table, chair, book, chalk, pen, etc. are non-living things. We learned in the lower classes that non-living things are made up of atoms or molecules or compounds or mixtures. Now, if you take the case of living things, what type of living things we can see around you? Plants, animals, birds, etc. are the living things we can see around us. Now, we have already learned in the lower classes that non-living things are made up of atoms and molecules. Similarly, all living things are made up of one or more cells. That is, very small organisms, or there are some organisms whose body is made up of only one cell, and many organisms are there their bodies are made up of more than one cell also. That all we are going to learn in very detailed way in the coming part of the lesson. Now let us recall the basic functions. So these are the different type of cells which we are going to learn in this lesson. Now let us see what are the basic functions living organisms carry out. What are the basic functions doing? See, we know that respiration, digestion, circulation of blood, reproduction, excretion, etc. are the basic functions of a living organism. If these basic functions are not carried out, then the living organism cannot exist. Now, these functions are carried out by different systems. There are many systems in the body, like digestive system, respiratory system, reproductive system, skeletal system, etc. Each system consists of different organs. That also you already learned in the previous classes about digestive system, respiratory system, circulatory system, etc. What are the different organs in each system and how that function happening in all these systems we have learned in lower classes. So each system consists of different organs. Now, what are the different organs of respiratory system, digestive system? We know that is respiratory system consists of nose, then trachea, bronchi, lungs, like that. Digestive system also we learned digestive system is made up of mouth, teeth, tongue, food pipe, then stomach, small intestine, large intestine, etc. like that we already learned. Different set of organs perform various functions. That is, all organs are not doing the same function. That is, organs of respiratory system is totally different from the organs of digestive system. So different organs are there in the body of living organisms which are doing different functions. That is, in the higher organisms there are many types of organs are there which are doing different type of functions. So the body of higher organism is very complex. So organ is made up of a group of tissues, and tissue is made up of a group of cells. So because of this we can say that Because of this, we can say that cells are the basic structural unit of a living organism. So you can see here, cell, that is the smallest part of a living organism, we can say. So many cells of same function together will make a tissue, and so many tissues together will make an organ, and so many organs together will make an organ system, and all the organ systems together make up the body of organism. It is the general case of every living organism. So if we say example about a different system, I have written here, see, respiratory system. We know that respiratory system is made up of nose, trachea, bronchi, lungs, etc. So these are the different organs, and those organs make a respiratory system. So respiratory system is one system of the body organism. Now another system we take, circulatory system. Circulatory system helps in the circulation of blood, like the heart, blood vessels, etc. are the different organs of circulatory system. So circulatory system is also one system of the body of organism. Next one, we can say digestive system. Also in 7th standard, you had learned in very detailed way. Digestive system consists of which are the organs? Mouth, teeth, tongue, then food pipe, stomach, then small intestine, large intestine, etc. There are so many organs in the digestive system. So all these organs together make a digestive system, and digestive system is also one system of the body organism. Like that, another one is excretory system. Excretory system. Excretory system does the function of removing excretory waste materials from the body. That also we have learned. Another one is reproductive system. Another one is nervous system, which we are going to learn in the coming lessons. So generally we can say that cell is the smallest part of a living organism, or cells are the building blocks of life. Cells are the building blocks of life. Now we will continue. As many bricks are assembled to make a wall, and then a building is made. Similarly, many cells are assembled to make the body of living organism. You might have seen how the mason is making the wall. The same way, cell is the basic structure or building blocks of living organism. Now we are going to learn the discovery of cell. What was the story behind the discovery of cell? Cells were discovered by the scientist Robert Hooke. He is not an Indian scientist. In the year 1665. He observed a thin slice of cork under a simple magnifying device or a microscope. Now what is cork? Cork is a part of the bark of a tree which is dried. Then what he saw? He saw that it was made up of many small box-like structures. You can see the picture here. See, many small box-like structure is there which are separated by walls. He observed partitioned boxes or compartments in the cork slice. These boxes were just like a honeycomb. These boxes were just like a honeycomb. You might have seen honeycomb. There are many small hexagonal holes or boxes. Each one is looking like the other one. So these boxes were just like a honeycomb. The boxes were separated from each other by a partition or a wall. He called these boxes as cells, that is cells of the cork, because he observed cork cells. So but actually what he observed were the dead cells in the cork, because cork is the dried part of the wood. So it is the dead cell. Now we will learn more about it. So before that, after 150 years of Robert Hooke's discovery also, not much was known about the cell. Until improved microscope with magnifications were made. Today, scientists use high magnification microscopes like an electron microscope, compound microscope, etc. to study about the cells. They use stains to get the color for the cell and for the detailed study structure of the cell. So today we know a lot about the cell structure and its function because of the work of these scientists. They used improved microscopes, not the ordinary microscope. Cell is the very smallest part, so that which cannot be seen by our naked eye. So scientists used compound microscope and electron microscope, which magnify the cells many times than the real size. So because of the improved microscopes like compound microscope, electron microscope, etc., the study of cells has improved. Now cell, we are going to learn more about its cell and its structure in the coming part of the lesson. See, as wall is made up of bricks, we know that how the mason is making the wall. Small bricks of the same size are joined together. So cells are the basic structure of the living organism, we told, as brick is the basic structure of wall. So the building is made up of similar bricks of different designs, shape and sizes. The size, shape and designs are different. And similarly, in the living world also, the organisms differ from one another. That is, all the living organisms are not like looking the same. They are different in different ways: size, shape, structure, functions, etc. Similarly, in the living world, organisms differ from one another, but all are made up of cells. That is, one thing is there common. What is that? Whether the organism is big or small, doing different functions, having different shape, color, size, etc. Still, one thing is common in all. What is it? They are made up of cells. So one thing is common in all living organisms, that is their body is made up of cells. But the cells of the living organisms are having very complex structures, unlike a non-living thing, brick. Now we will compare the brick wall and the onion peel. That is, onion cells picture is the yellow one, and this reddish one is the brick wall, which is made by the mason. See, so many bricks, small one also there, big one also there, are joined, then a big wall is made. And each one is just looking like boxes, and they are separated by the partition or wall. That is, mason is using cement to join them, that become the wall or partition from each other. The same way, if you see the onion cell, see here there are some rectangular boxes like that we can see here. Each one is a cell and having a round or circular portion in the middle, which is nucleus. Like that, many boxes we can see, not one, so many boxes we can see. How we are seeing this about this onion cell, detailed part explanation is coming in the next session. Now understand, this is the structure of onion cell. There are so many boxes, each one is called a cell, and every cell is having a central portion which is called the nucleus. Each one is having a separate wall or partition, and all these boxes are somewhat looking like the same way. So like that, so many are joined, then we are getting the onion cell. So these both are shown together so that we can see the comparison between them. Cell is to living things, as brick is to brick wall. Now see, an hen's egg can be seen easily. You might have seen the hen's egg. Is it a cell or a group of cells? It is a single cell which is very big. So the egg of a hen is a single cell which can be seen by the unaided eye. It is, even if it is big, but it is a single cell. So what we have learned today? Today we learned about the discovery of cell. From this, the main points what we learned, we are concluding. All living things are made up of cells, just as the wall is made up of bricks. So we can say that cells are the basic building blocks of living organisms. The cells are having very complex living structures. All cells are similar in their basic structure and function, but they are not identical. They differ in size, shape, structure, etc. So the organization of the cells in the body of a living organism determine its structure. So the way an organism function depend on the way the cell work. So these are the main points we have learned today. More about the cell structure, functions, that all we are going to learn in the coming part of the lesson. All have to, whatever part is explained, all have to read it at least 2 times, then you will understand it well. I think all are doing it. So today we will conclude the session here. We will meet again in the next session. Thank you.